Hello everyone out there, and welcome back to the Phantoms Fanatic YouTube channel. Today I'm reviewing Strange World, released this year in 2022, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Jaboukie Young-White, Dennis Quaid, Gabrielle Union, Lucy Liu, and Alan Tudyk, and directed by Don Hall. Jaeger Clade is one of the most popular explorers in the mystical land that they live in, trying to conquer passing mountains. But due to him and his son not having the best of relationships, they separate for 25 years, but then new troubles appear to where Searcher Clade must go on an adventure into a strange world where he finds his father to save their world. Okay, I'm done with that bit. Obviously this is the newest movie by Disney. And if I would have to explain this movie, if I would have to make any comparisons to something, it would be, I compare it to Lightyear, where it has some interesting-ish ideas, but is very poorly paced in the beginning, good animation, some funny bits, and some, like, kinda good action scenes, but overall, it really is just average, if I would have to say anything. First of all, I'm gonna say one positive is the voice actors in this. They really do bring a lot to these characters. Jake Gyllenhaal as Searcher Clade does a really good job, and the character designs and the expressions I really do like. I feel like they really went back to more creative character designs after Lightyear, where they were kind of just standard. This one, they do give a lot more animation expressions to the characters. And yeah, as I said, Jake Gyllenhaal makes a good lead as Searcher Clade. Dennis Quaid is pretty good as Jaeger Clade. He's very entertaining. Most of the voice actors are doing a good enough job here. And obviously, the animation is very well done. Even before they go into the strange world, it still is relatively good. But then when you get into the strange world, it is very creative imagery. And it kind of hints you to what's going on, even though I guessed it pretty early on. But I liked the reveal of what was going on, even though if it was kind of obvious. I still thought it was a creative reveal to why everything looked like this. Because at first I thought, from seeing the trailer, like, did they shrink down? And I was kind of on the right track when I saw the movie and the trailer was released. But yeah, so the animation and action style is very well done. The voice actors are giving it their all. My main problem with this movie is the writing and the pacing. This movie is just so average and unoriginal for the most part, because you rush right away into this, like, adventure style comic book scenes, which I'm like, okay, cool that they do like a switch up from that, but then it kind of just is edited and shot kind of like a normal movie. If they would have gone more with like the 1940s comic book like adventure hero, I feel like it would have been a lot better if they tried to stick with that aesthetic, but they really don't. Because it reminded me of, like, Pearl, where it tried to adapt the film from that genre and edit it like that. This movie kind of does that, but I feel like if they may have captured more of a zanier tone instead of telling such a serious story. Because, so as I was saying, right away, you are with Searcher Clade and Jaeger Clade. Jaeger Clade is Dennis Quaid, and he is this adventurer who wants to conquer these mountains and see what's on the other side for the future of their kingdom and stuff like that. And the thing is, right away you can guess exactly where this movie is going and what it's going to be saying, because when you cut 25 years in the future, Jake Gyllenhaal actually has a son, and he wants his son to follow in his footsteps of being a farmer, but he doesn't want him to follow in the footsteps of his grandpa being an explorer, because he feels like he's going to get abandoned again. And it's like, that is just the most standard... It's the most standard way you think it's going to go. Nothing surprised me in which this movie went. But as I said, the thing is about this plotline is that there are good moments out of it, because you have a scene where it's no music's playing, and it's just the voice actors working off of each other. And the writing, I feel like, is pretty good in that scene, but from the fact that right away you just rush into so much of us right away, and it's just, it immediately goes to like, hey dad, we're exploring, I don't know if I want to do this, and then they separate. Like, that's how it goes right away. And then you see him again 20 minutes later, and it's like, what was the point of doing this? You really didn't set up all that much, in my opinion. They didn't establish anything in the beginning for setup except through exposition and them explaining it later on, especially with the fact that Searcher has a son and he's doing the same thing that his father was doing to him. And I just don't think it's all that engaging and interesting, because it's exactly where you think it's gonna go. A father doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, but he's trying to pressure his son not to abandon him like his father did. And it's like, I've seen that done so many times, and in this, they just don't do anything with it. As I said, there's some good moments with that, mainly because of the voice actors. The writing isn't all that all that good, but it's pretty decent. And I feel like they're kind of commenting on, especially because Ethan Clade is a gay character in this, not that there's any problem with that. But I feel like they're also trying to tackle that kind of subgenre of things with, like, LGBTQ plus rights and stuff like that, and I ain't gonna try to even talk about that, because it's a children's Disney movie. Why are we tackling these things when you forgot to just make the movie kind of entertaining? There are good, like, action set pieces, and the creative world does work very well in this. I like that. And you meet these, like, different creatures that are very creative in their designs, and these different areas you go to are also very creative. I like that. And the fact that they discovered this plant that produces electricity, I like the inventions around that, where you gotta, like, fill it up and stuff. But I thought this movie was gonna more capture, like, a 1920s kind of display of things from the trailer. I wanted more, like, steampunk shit, and you really didn't get that. I feel like if they would have maybe adapted, like, the aesthetic of Atlantis, where they were, like, steampunky shit, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more, but instead you kind of just get, they all have futuristic technology just powered by plants in a bottle. Like, yeah, but I will say, the movie is not offensive or bad for children. There were a few moments where I genuinely got a laugh, and you could show this to a kid and it would be fine. It would be a fine family movie to go out and watch something with. It isn't anything new, but if you have kids and you want to distract them, you could watch something worse. Yet again, it's very similar to Lightyear, where the pacing in that movie is god-awful, because right at the beginning, you establish nothing, and then we're supposed to be attached and understand these characters' problems later on, when it's like, you just rushed through so much in the beginning and you expect us to do that. I feel like maybe if they just tried to capture, like, an adventurous, like, 1920s feel like it's trying to do, and not try to tell the most serious of stories, I feel like you could have had a fun action movie here, just like you could have with Lightyear, but they had to go through telling us important stories. And it's like, yeah, that's not a bad idea, but clearly with a script like this, I just don't think it works out all that much. But to whether I recommend this, if you have kids and you want to go see it as a family night, you could watch something else. The movie does not overstay its welcome. They're never going to be bored. You're never going to be bored throughout this. As I said, there are good moments with this story and themes of, like, abandonment and stuff, but it's kind of just so standard that you know where everything's going. Nothing is established right away through means of film, visual filmmaking and stuff like that. Find a creative way to deliver expositions instead of just telling us later. But yes, if you have kids and you want to entertain them, and the animation is very well done, then go see it in the theater. But if maybe your kids want to watch it, I would say just wait until it comes out on Disney Plus, because it's not necessary to see in the theaters except for the animation. But if you're an adult and you're thinking about seeing this, I would say just skip it. It really isn't all that worth it. There's nothing too interesting to me except for the animation and the voice actors doing a good job, but the pacing in the beginning and then the story elements really don't work out that well, because even you kind of had like a twist villain at the end of it, and I'm like, why the fuck are we adding this on top of it? It's not really a twist villain, it's just for some reason they don't believe this character for some fucking reason, and I'm like, what the hell? It's just infuriating sometimes. You just see where it's gonna go. None of it is very well done with the dialogue. The voice actors are clearly trying their best, but as I said, I recommend this if you have children. You could watch something more offensive, but overall, it's just average and meh, in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, what did you guys think of Strange World? I personally thought it was just kind of average, even though there's moments I did enjoy in it, but I always like to see other people's thoughts on the movie or the review, so leave those in the comment section down below. If you have any other movies you want me to review, also leave those in the comment section down below. If this is your first video on the channel, please make sure to check out my other reviews and subscribe down below, and share the channel with as many people as you can. I always like to see the growth of the channel, and yes, I will see you all next time with the next adventure of the Clades. Yeah, I'm not doing that.